Hello, fellow skiers and snowboarders. This is Mike on January 15th, Monday, MLK Day, at about 11 a.m. And as you can see here, we're doing a quickie tour around the Southeastern Mid-Atlantic, looking at all the live cameras. And this camera, as you can see here, is the Beach Mountain Parkway camera at Beach Mountain Chalet Rentals. And as it pans back around and looks up towards the slopes at Beach Mountain Ski Resort, you can't even see the resort itself except for these little pieces down here at the bottom. You can't even see it. It's snowing so hard. You can also see some frozen precipitation getting on the camera lens itself, although the Beach Mountain Parkway itself remains relatively clear and drivable. As you get up a little bit above this area going over towards the ski resort and beyond up towards maybe Buckeye Lake, you might want to be a little bit more understanding about the conditions. Here's a live shot, for example, at Beach Mountain Buckeye Lake, and you can see parts of the lake itself are frozen, and now accepting the precipitation is coming down pretty significantly right now. We've been getting pretty good snow here at my home in Sleepy Hollow as well. If I had to bet right now, most of the area, even though some, as we all know, some people tend to exaggerate the amount of snowfall every day, it seems, but it seems that most of the area is getting right now about an inch, maybe a little bit more in some spots here and there, maybe an inch and a half, but that's it so far. They are still saying 6, 7, maybe 8 inches of snow as this storm progresses. So anyway, let me see if I can't look around. This is Lee's McRae over in Banner Elk. You can see parts of the grassy areas are not even covered in snow yet. The road's not covered. The trees are not covered. So this is kind of a elevation and temperature kind of related scenario. So we may or may not see a lot of the snowfall that we're seeing being reported. Some areas are reporting, like I said, a couple of inches of snow, and that's not quite the case at this stage. I'll show you here. This is downtown West Jefferson over in Ashe County. They're getting some good snowfall right now, but it doesn't appear to be sticking except on buildings and grassy areas, that sort of thing. Let me see if I can take you over around the area. This is Black Mountain in western North Carolina, where some of the storm is predicted to be heavier than maybe what we might see at Sugar and Beach Mountain, but right now that's not the case. Here is Hendersonville over towards Asheville, and you can see they're not even getting precip at this point. You can see the storm kind of off in the distance there, but this is at Horseshoe Farm in Hendersonville, North Carolina, not getting anything. This is Waynesville. This is over towards Maggie, where I know they are getting snow there at Maggie Valley. More about that in a minute, but a lot of the areas that are calling for heavier snowfall, maybe 6, 7, 8 inches of snow so far, are not seeing the results of that. This is a live shot at Hawk's Nest at the tubing park. This is on top of Seven Devils. Looking at the railings there, looks like they might have picked up an inch and a half, somewhere in that ballpark. You can see tabletops, maybe not even quite an inch and a half. This is a beautiful snowfall right now outside of my window that I'm reporting to you on right now. I'm seeing some of the prettiest flakes of snow coming down that I've seen in probably years. All of our trees and things are covered here in beautiful metropolis of Sleepy Hollow. Beautiful snowfall. Let me see if I can't take you kind of around the area. This is the top Sugar Ski and Country Club. Just a bit ago, we were seeing some of the races. Different race teams were assembled here on Oma's Trail. You can see nice snowflakes coming down there. This is the top Sugar Mountain ski area, as it aligns with Sugar Ski and Country Club, as you see right in here. This will pan back around now and look down towards the starter shack, where they had dozens of ski racers playing there this morning. It seems that event has finished and they're now taking down everything. But you can see some nice powder stashes. Some of these guys throwing down snowboards looks like 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of snow on top of the man-made snow, and that will make for a terrific time on the ski slopes. Not sure if this Eagle's Nest camera is going to come up for us. I've been noticing recently it's been taking a while to cook and load. May have to take a look at that. I do know the reason I'm trying to show it to you is when you get to the top there at Eagle's Nest, typically they're going to get a bit more snow there than what we'll see at some of the other areas. You can see the snow's falling pretty hard here at the base camera at Beech Mountain. We're trying to get that camera replaced. Been communicating back and forth with Talia a little bit. Look forward to having a higher resolution and clearer camera. One that will even allow us to pan up and look towards these pieces up here, which would be kind of nice. So we'll hopefully get that in the next little bit. Here's a live shot of the summit camera, not getting much more than a whiteout going on right there right now. You can kind of see that. You're going to get the same thing from the Beech Mountain sledding hill. Same thing. You can tell that it's snowing pretty hard as you look down on this part, but as we look over towards the profile side of Beech Mountain Ski Resort itself, not getting much there. I'll just go ahead and kind of skip around. You can see here's downtown Boone area at the Appalachian State Convocation Center. Grass is starting to get covered. Beautiful snowfall happening. And like I said, they're reporting the biggest part of this snowstorm, I think, is meant to be hitting around 1 p.m. So we'll maybe come back with some more coverage then at that time. But that's pretty much it. Let's go to, this has always been a nice sunrise sunset shot. Right now we're getting a little bit more snow here. This is at the Watauga campus of Community College there. Let's go to downtown Blowing Rock. Beautiful snowflakes falling right there. How pretty is that? Might leave it here for a moment and allow this thing to pan around. You see over at the park, everybody seems to be enjoying nice little snowfall. I will tell you, this is without question the most significant snowfall to date so far this winter for Blowing Rock. They've only had literally maybe 2 to 3 inches of accumulated natural snowfall. We probably had 19 different days where we saw flurries, but not much in the way of accumulation in downtown Blowing Rock, but they're getting it right now. Looks like maybe they're an inch, inch and a half may be the case in downtown Blowing Rock. Let's take you to King Street in Boone. You can see nice fluffy flakes coming down in downtown Boone. This is coming from the Mass General Store. Camera looking back towards Boone, etc. So you can see how pretty the snow is falling. Not much in the way of accumulation there as yet. Let's kind of take you back now and show you what you guys probably, if you're clicking here, what you came here for. Take a quick tour. This is Appalachian Ski Mountain. You see some significant snow coming down. Again, so far probably just right at plus or minus an inch that has fallen so far. We'll go to Cataloochee next, where I showed you Waynesville just a little while ago. Looks like Cataloochee so far, they're getting good significant snowfall, but in terms of accumulation right now, plus or minus not quite an inch. You can see kind of in some of these areas over here off the ski area, you still got some grassy shots. I'll try to show you. The lift camera always has a nice view, and you can usually tell when you're getting an inch or more. You'll start seeing it on tops of these poles, you know, etc., and into trees, and that's not quite the case just yet. That's a very unofficial way. I doubt we're going to get much from the Cataloochee overview camera, but we'll look as I suspected. You can see it here on the grass, but right now you can't see down because it's snowing so hard. Very cool to be able to say that. This is at the base of Sugar Mountain we're going to next. Not as huge a crowd there as what you might expect on MLK, especially a snowy MLK Monday, but bear in mind a lot of people have already decided to pack up and head home, and some people, believe it or not, are scared off by the snowstorm. Joe Stevens wrote about that even just yesterday. His wife Angie used to work in customer service at Snowshoe for years, and believe it or not, people would want to come up and cancel because it was too cold and snowy to ski. And of course, she'd always remind them that they can't offer a refund because they're at a winter resort, and that's what's supposed to happen. But at any rate, people are people. But a lot of people are headed home already to get back into the regular weekday for a lot of people, which starts back on Tuesday. This lift line, if I had to bet, probably 5 or 6 minutes, not that long. That 6-pack chair moves pretty quick, so there you have that. Let's skip up, go into West Virginia, where you can see some moderate snowfall going on there. They had 4.5 inches of natural snowfall recorded by Bill Peterson at the Canaan Valley Weather Station there overnight over the last 24 hours. And as you can tell, it is still coming down. So Canaan Valley themselves, I think, is reporting 2 inches. They literally had 4.5 inches. They tend to under-report. But 4.5 inches of snowfall, and again, still coming down. So we'll have to see what Bill reports on Tuesday morning. But nice snowfall happening. We'll go to the mid-station. We were seeing lots of snowmaking going on down the mountain coming across. You can still see some residual snowmaking. It's probably happening on some of the side trails there, blowing across. But man, this has got to be some pretty nice stashes. There's snowmaking going on right there. There's got to be some amazing stashes coming down some of these trails right now. How I would love to be making some tracks on those slopes. Pretty amazing. Let's go over to the boathouse at Snowshoe Mountain. The lift line there is not bad at all, guys. Betting again, maybe 5 minutes. Not bad at all. So pretty good snowfall there. You can see kind of light snow falling right now. This storm that's happening right now is one in which right now the more southern tier into the Appalachian chain or whatever, it may get a bit more snow out of this than going up, but then that remains to be seen. Snowshoe, Canaan, Timberline, even West Resort up in Maryland tend to ring out a lot more snow. This skidder slope camera at Snowshoe was kind of glitchy yesterday and frozen. Looking back at the side of Highland House itself, they've seemed to have manually moved that around. You are still seeing some good significant snowfall happening there, but this camera is supposed to be panning back to the left, panning up towards the top of the Ballhooter lift, and right now that's not happening. So the cold and the snow is probably messing with that camera. So unfortunately, this is the shot we're going to get. Still nice to see snow. Not a lot in the trees here, which is stereotypical for a good snowfall, but right now it is what it is. Let's go to Timberline. Nice brisk crowd there. You're seeing tabletops there. Not a whole lot of accumulated snow. I'm sure they cleared those off for today's crowd, but as I said, 4.5 inches of natural snow over the past 24 hours. This camera typically always pans around and looks down towards the lift area as well. Right now that's not happening. Let's go to the summit. Man, love this shot. This is coming off. The chairlift is back this way. We'll see it here in a moment, I think. But this is taking you down where you would want to go either to Dewdrop, or you could ski on around this way and go to Twister, come down and look at some of the other more difficult trails. You can see they are making snow at the top. I'm sure that's much to the chagrin of some of the skiers and snowboarders there at Timberline, but that looks pretty doggone nice, doesn't it? Let's go over to Winter Place Resort. Getting a bit more snow, and you can see here there's a good 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of accumulated snowfall there at Winter Place. Great news for Josh Faber, Wagner, and the boys at Winter Place Resort. That's an awesome shot. Let's see if we can get to the side. You can see even more significant snowfall. Pretty common theme here. As you can kind of tell, today's theme is this is what it's all about. This is what we're looking for. Oh my gosh, every single day, no matter where you look in the region, you see nice snowfall coming down. This is at Winter Place ski area, and I'm sure you just saw that nice 2 inches. You can see the snowboarder as he's kind of cooking through. There's some powder stashes to be found for sure on a powder day like this. Some areas it's kind of a nice fluffy wet snowy day. In other cases it's more of a champagne kind of a day. Temperatures up around Snowshoe right now, maybe 10-12 degrees. Could be closer to 30. Some of the areas around the high country, Beach, Sugar, and those areas. So a lot of difference in the type of snow that's also falling. Let's go ahead and go into Virginia, where it has just been unfairly, not nearly as snowy and as cold so far this winter. But thankfully, look at this. Bryce Resort is getting in on the natural snowfall. Looks unbelievably great there. Looking at some of the sides, some of the buildings off the side, looks like they too are in the plus or minus 1 inch or so, maybe an inch and a half of natural snowfall so far. But this camera's getting us some nice views looking at the conditions, and a nice brisk crowd as well for Bryce Resort. Congrats to those guys, much deserved. You can see nice little snowfall. This has got to be fantastic for all of the guests that are riding the lift up right now, coming across and seeing snow in the trees and snow in the woods and snow everywhere. Totally different than when you can see snow on the slopes, but when it's green or brown everywhere else, kind of a bummer. But so good to see Bryce Resort and the Virginia ski areas with some snow. Here's at Homestead, where you see they're making snow. They also, you can kind of tell, like here on this umbrella, you can see there is a good, same thing, kind of plus or minus maybe an inch. Homestead tends to clear off all of these tables each and every day, so I wouldn't bank so much on that, but I'd say plus or minus approaching an inch of snow here at Omni Homestead Resort as well. And they are open today and looking pretty doggone good, making snow. And that's another thing to kind of bring up, man. The ski resorts, I don't care where they are in the entire Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, will be making snow, maybe even close to being around the clock, all across the region, all 15, 16 ski areas. No matter where you look, we should see lots of snowmaking happening for the entire week. And we're going to see some champagne type snow coming out, man-made powder snow, champagne type snow coming out. Pretty cool shot here of the skier helping their child snowboarder. That's kind of neat. But you can see here the conditions are looking phenomenal. Lots of snowmaking going on here at Massanutten ski area as well. If you're watching this, also be sure to visit skisoutheast.com. Look at the prompt that comes up. There's an invitation there to the February 9th, 10th, 11th Massanutten. It's called the Ski Southeast Summit at the Nut, taking place on February 9th through the 11th. Getting 10% off of all lodging, lift passes. We're going to have Sunday first tracks, where it's only us on the mountain for the first 30-45 minutes or so. First tracks, we're going to have a pre-ski party Saturday night, and so far I think we're up to around 120 or so people attending. We're going to have all of our gang there from Ski Southeast, as well as Brad Panovich, meteorologist Brad Panovich will be there. Man About Charlotte, he will be there with us as well. I'm thinking Joe Stevens, I haven't heard from him quite yet, but we'll have to see if we can manage to get Joe down there with us as well. But should be a phenomenal time, and Kenny Hess has already told us that with all the cold and snow, look for them to be 100% open as we look into that time period. But you can see here at Massanutten, pretty doggone good conditions. Going over to Wintergreen, nice little crowd there at the Blue Ridge Express. That's probably 5-10 minute wait, maybe, looks like. Maybe not even quite that much, but that's at the Blue Ridge Express camera. I'm going to go to the top of Skyline, and just looking here, if I had to bet, this is a good 1.5 inches of accumulated snowfall so far, plus or minus an inch, to maybe two, maybe two. And I've just done this for 28 years, so tend to kind of see these and then see the official reports that are coming out of the National Weather Service stations and Coco Ross reporters and what have you. But beautiful shot here at Wintergreen Ski Area from the top of Skyline. We'll go slope side real quick here to the tubing hill at Wintergreen, and how fun would that be? You know, nice powder, nice conditions, nice ambiance, looking pretty doggone good. The cameras are down right now, I think, at Ober Mountain, so I'll try to take you to this one. I saw earlier where there was a fair amount of snow dropping there, but you can see it's maybe just above temperature right now. Nothing is accumulated on the cars or the roofs there at Ober, but I know it was snowing pretty hard there earlier, and I heard from Karina and some of the team at Ober Mountain. We're trying to get that other camera replaced to get you a high-res shot at the base of the mountain. Maybe even later this week we'll definitely try that. Going to go to Maryland real quick for the last piece of our tour. I had to bet there's probably 2.5, 3.5 inches of accumulated snow. Man, they've had nothing but snow. They're well ahead of the average to date normal amount of snow that they would have had by January 15th. They're well ahead of that schedule up here at Deep Creek Lake in Maryland. So is, by the way, Canaan, Timberline, Snowshoe. All of those guys are well ahead of the pace. Everybody's talking about, you know, climate change and how little snow we're getting. All you need to do is get into West Virginia or Maryland, and right now, people, that's where the snow is. Again, I want to say close to 70 inches of natural snowfall to date at Timberline and Canaan. Close to 60 inches to date at Snowshoe Mountain, and right at that here at Deep Creek Lake as we look across. Here's the base of the mountain looking up, looking good. Light snow falling there right now. They're up in that northern tier of our coverage area, and just not quite getting the storm there just yet. But man, it's been snowing there. They've had snow literally, I mean, every day in the last 7 or 8 days. There was that one day of rain, but outside of that, there's been snow here pretty much, you know, nonstop. It's been a lot. See here, if I'll take you back across a couple of views real quick. Buckeye Lake again. Beautiful snowfall atop Beech Mountain. That's probably where we're going to end the tour. Maybe Blowing Rock one more time. Looks like the snow is tempered. I want to tell you, this is the lull between the storms, I think, because there's meant to be more happening here as we approach the midday. Closer to maybe 1 o'clock, we'll even see more. We'll look real quick at the Nantahala Outdoor Center. A lot of times, okay, there's really nothing going on there. And again, this is the path of the belt where the heavier snow has been predicted, and so far we're not seeing that happening quite yet. Let's see if we'll go to the Gatlinburg Summit Cam. Look at the way this is right now. We are getting some snowfall here. You weren't seeing it a minute ago at Ober, but you are seeing it here at the Gatlinburg Summit Cam, as well as snow clouds that are hovering down. So this right now is probably a rather wet snow that's happening, but it's snow. Take you over to Great Smoky Mountain Railway. I watched the train come in earlier today. That was pretty cool. It'll probably pan back here. And this again is in that path where we're meant to see a fair amount of snow, not quite seeing it yet. So it kind of is what it is. This is in Helen, Georgia. Ditto. So Sky Valley, we'll just look, ditto, not really happening there. So all the snow right now is kind of staying a little bit more towards the traditional portions of our ski mountains, and that's great for the skiers and snowboarders. So that's it for now. Again, it's 11:37. Quick tour here, and we'll take a look again maybe in a few hours, as I know you guys love snow. That's white gold for us here in the ski industry of the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic. But that's it from SkiSoutheast.com and ResortCams.com. Pass the word to your friends that this is the one-stop shop to see the snow, where it's snowing, how much snow everybody's getting, what the conditions are like, read some First Tracks news and more. So thanks. That's it for right now, guys. Have a good day.